Hello friends, welcome to another weekly top-down analysis video on the gold and GJ. So as usual, we are going to start with the monthly time frame, and then we'll go down to lower time frames, weekly, daily, 4 hour, 1 hour, and 30 minutes, right? So without wasting any time, let's get started. First of all, we are going to start with the gold on the monthly time frame. So as we can see on the monthly time frame, that there is a resistance right here, and we have the last monthly candle already closed. But the last monthly candle couldn't close above this resistance, but at the same time, we had this resistance and the last monthly candle already closed above the resistance. So what I see on the monthly time frame now, I see that the next monthly candle to open up and come back, retest the recent broken zone and come up and retest the previous highs and maybe hopefully making a new high, right? So that is what I see on the monthly time frame. On the weekly time frame, what I see on the weekly, as we can see, the price is currently making higher highs and higher lows. As we can see, the price came up, broke this previous high, so we created a higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and right now we have broken the previous high and have created a new high. So we are pretty much bullish on the weekly time frame as well, and so I'm anticipating the price to keep going higher with the monthly time frame. If you go to daily time frame, we can see on the daily time frame as well that the price is pretty much bullish, as this was the previous resistance. Price broke this resistance and have created a new high. Also at the same time, we have this resistance and the support, and the price is currently consolidating between this resistance and support. So what I see on the daily time frame, I see that okay, we have a resistance, we have this resistance, and at the same time we have this support. As we have the weekly and the monthly time frame pretty much bullish. So what I see, our daily candle closing above this resistance. And if we get the daily candle closing above the resistance, then we see, the price to, basically move to the next resistance, something like this. As we can see, this is going to be a next resistance level. So that is something I see on the daily time frame. So now let's see what we are doing on the 4 hour time frame, right? So what we know right now, we know the monthly, weekly, daily, all are bullish. Right now, if you look at the price section on the 4 hour chart, we can see the price came up, created a high, higher low, high, high, higher low. We created a high and then we created a low. And, since then the price is consolidating between this high and this low. So still we are bullish on the 4 hour time frame as well, right? So if we look more closely, we can also see that okay, price created a high, higher low, high, high, higher low, higher high, higher low right now. So we are maintaining this bullish uptrend on the 4 hour as well. So what I see on the 4 hour right now, I see that okay, we have this resistance, right? And we have this support. So we know that daily, weekly, monthly all are bullish. So if we get a 4 hour candle closing above this resistance, then it becomes a pretty high probability for the price to come up and retest these highs on the left hand side, right? So that is something. So I want the next candle to open up, come down, retest the recent broken zone, and move to the next resistance and hopefully making a new high above this overall resistance as well. That is something I see on the 4 hour time frame. Now let's see what's happening on the 1 hour time frame. On the 1 hour time frame, if you look, we can see that the price is currently making higher highs and higher low. As we can see, we made a high, higher low, higher high, higher low, and we made a high. And right now the price might be making, potential higher low to come up and continue this bullish move to the upside, right? Now let's see what's happening on the 30-minute chart. On the 30-minute chart, same like 1 hour time frame, we are bullish on the 1 hour 30-minute chart as well. We are making high, low, higher high, higher low. We created a high, price came down, and right now we might be consolidating to come up and retest the previous high. If we look more closely, we can see that okay, we know that all higher time frames are bullish. So right now, if you see, we have this resistance and we have this support. And if we talk about, the next support is right here, right? And we have, the next resistance is right here and right here. So we know that the all higher time frames are bullish. So if we get, 30-minute candle closing above this resistance, then it becomes a high probability for the price to come up and retest minimum the first resistance, and hopefully maybe, you know, the higher resistance is because all higher time frames are bullish. So that is something we see on the 30-minute time frame, right? So now let's move to our next pair, which is GJ. On the GJ, as we can see that, okay, let's start with the monthly time frame. On GJ, we can see the price is currently making higher highs and higher low. As we can see, starting from the lowest point. Okay, we are making high, higher low, high, high, higher low, high, high, higher low. We created a high price, came down, and currently, you know, we have, you know, created a higher low to come up and retest the previous high. So that is something we see on the monthly time frame as well. If you look more closely, also we can see that, you know, this was the support. Price broke and closed below the support, and we had the, you know, the last 2 monthly candle close back into the range. So now it becomes a high probability for the price to come up and retest the previous high, right? So that is something we see on the monthly time frame. Now let's see, okay, what are we doing on the weekly time frame? On the weekly time frame as well, the price is pretty much bullish as we are making higher highs and low, higher highs and higher lows, higher highs and higher lows, right? So that is something we see on the weekly time frame as well. As we can see, we created a new high, price came down, created a support, and right now we are anticipating the price to come up and retest the previous highs, right? That is something we see on the weekly time frame as well. If we see more closely, we can see that, you know, it was a resistance on the weekly time frame. Last weekly candle closed above the resistance, so now it becomes a pretty high probability for the price to come up and retest, you know, these highs, these resistances on the left hand side. So that is something we see on the weekly time frame as well. So monthly is bullish, weekly is bullish. Now let's see what we have on the daily time frame. On the daily time frame, as we can see, the price is looking bullish as we are making higher highs and higher lows. So as we can see, the price was consolidating here, bringing this resistance and support. We came up, created a high, higher low. So we created a high, price came down, created a higher low, which is higher than the previous low. And this time we tried to break the previous high. We could not. So basically we got rejected from this level. And but still the market structure is bullish on the daily time frame. So right now, what we see at the moment is, okay, we have a resistance on the daily time frame. So we already know that the weekly and the monthly are bullish, and this is going to be a resistance on the daily time frame. And if we look left to find out the next resistance, we have this one as a resistance, and this one as a resistance as well. So what I'm looking on the daily time frame, I'm looking, or I'm anticipating a daily candle to close above the resistance. And if we close above the resistance, it becomes a higher probability for the price to move to the next resistance, which is right here, and hopefully to the next level, which is something right here, right? So that is something we see on the daily time frame as well. Basically, we see, you know, monthly, weekly, daily are bullish, right? So now let's see what is happening on the 4-hour time frame. So on the 4-hour time frame, as we can see, starting from the lowest point, we made a high, higher low, higher high, higher low. We came up and created a new high. So right now I am anticipating the price, which the price is already doing, making a correction. So I'm anticipating the price to come down, create some kind of support so that we can take long to retest the previous high. That is something I'm anticipating on the 4-hour time frame. Now to find more details, let's go to 1-hour time frame. On the 1-hour time frame, if we look at the market structure, we can see we created a high, higher low, you know, higher high, higher low, higher high. We created a higher low, or you can say we created a double top. Price broke the neckline of the double top, and we created a new low. So basically the market structure on the 1 hour is pretty much bearish at the moment. So we might come up, create some kind of resistance to come down and reach as the previous low, but we have to keep in our mind that all higher time frames are bullish, right? So now let's see more details on the 30-minute time frame. On the 30-minute time frame, same like the 1 hour time frame, we can see that the price is making high highs and high lows, higher high, higher lows, higher high. You know, we created this higher low, double top, you know, broke the neckline of the double top and created a new low. So we might come up and create resistance to go down and reach as the previous low, but we have to keep in our mind that all higher time frames are bullish, right? So what we see, you know, if we look at more closely, we can see that, okay, the prices, you know, have a resistance and have a support, right? And if you look at left, I mean, if you look left, we can find out this is going to be the next support. And if you look on the left to find out the resistance, we have this one as a resistance. and this one has resistance. So because all higher time frames are bullish, we'll be looking something, on the 30-minute time frame to, in the direction of the higher time frame. So we can see that, okay, price is currently ranging, and if we get a 30-minute candle closing above the resistance, it becomes a high probability for the price to come up to the next resistance minimum, which is right here. And because all higher time frames are bullish, so price might come up to retest, the previous high, and hopefully making a new high, and continue this bullish momentum along with the higher time frames which are already bullish. So that's it, guys. This was the small analysis on the gold and GJ from the monthly to the 30-minute time frame. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you really did like the video, share the video and subscribe to the channel in order to support the channel and YouTube algorithm. Thank you very much. See you in another video.